What's up, beautiful people? Yes, I'm applying chapstick. I should have done this a few minutes ago. How's everybody doing out there? What's going on, my beautiful people? So today is April 14th, and this is the weekly energy report where we're going to go down some rabbit holes here because, man, there is a lot of shit going on, let me tell you. So I am a spiritual bodybuilder. Please, first and foremost, if you've ordered a reading from me, please allow 3 to 5 days turnaround. It's getting closer to, it's going to be a week pretty soon. A lot of stuff going on. So thank you very much for your patience. I really appreciate you guys. If you haven't checked out my website yet, go to spiritualbodybuilder.com and join my opportunity community. It's filling up very, very fast. I actually have to check to see if we're at the 100-person mark because we're definitely really close to that. The community is building really fast, really well, and I love it. I love all you guys. So let's get into what the hell's going on right now. I've had a revelation, and I'm going to call myself out here to hold myself accountable as my own accountability buddy right now, because this last week's energy has been so powerful. So there's all this really intense stuff going on in the world right now, right? And we're seeing all this stuff about conspiracy facts and about the other side and the deep state and the politicians and, you know, world domination and power and all these different belief systems, all these different ideas. And there's, you know, because either people are watching the mainstream media news or they're getting their news from social media and other alternative aspects. And there's a lot of course, conflicting information. Now, I do have my beliefs and my sides that I pick, so to speak. You know, certain things just feel right, make sense to me. And unfortunately, there is a lot of really nasty shit going on out there in the world. And it pisses you off, you know, like you see some of the stuff that people are doing or like saying they're doing a lot of dots are connecting, all this plutonic energy. It makes you fucking angry, right? It's like, how can people be so just nasty? But that's the reality that we've lived in. It's always been there. We've just never acknowledged it, or, you know, on a worldly scale, like the entire collective unconscious, right? And we've known that all this stuff is going to be coming up, and that plutonic energy is just never, it's just never nice to deal with, but it has to be dealt with. And that's as within, so without, right? That's within us and out in a reality, because our reality is, you know, how we see ourselves. It's just a reflection of it. So, you know, I was like, you know, I got a lot of you guys sending me like all this information about like QAnon and all this, you know, conspiracy stuff. And, you know, granted, like I'm feeling like I'm on that side. Okay. Right now, everybody is choosing a side. Belief systems and reality is what's going on, right? Whatever label that you want to put on it is what it is. Everybody in some way, shape, or form feels like they're right if they're choosing that particular thing. So I noticed that I was starting to like have this energy of like seeing people, you know, like scrolling through social media and seeing people saying a certain thing. No, this, you know, 5G is not connected to coronavirus, and, you know, or like, you know, a certain amount of people getting sick and a certain amount not, and why you should wear a mask and stay home, or why you should say fuck you. And look, clearly everybody that's voicing their feeling and their opinion, it's there because that's how they feel, and everybody's super passionate with all this stuff coming out. But you know, there's a certain point where, you know, it's easy to get sucked into it. And I feel like both sides of that are getting this stronger and stronger, just like negative vibration to it. So I noticed that I jumped into a debate recently that I probably shouldn't have. Granted, it's about stuff that I believe in. Like it's this whole 5G and coronavirus, you know, conspiracy. What are they doing? What other ways are they trying to hurt us and maim us and keep us under control? And, you know, this is a debate that is, you know, certain situations and certain things like this, just certain groups of people have completely polarized belief systems. So no matter where you're drawing your information from, there's going to be some kind of like blockage or debate. And I try to keep my shit high vibration, you know, like I want to come from a place of love, a place of growth, a place of like, how can we look at this trigger and facilitate some growth from it, right? But even me, I mean, you know, sometimes like I'm a super passionate dude, you know, and if I believe in something, I'm like, let's go, 100% all in. I'm getting it. And I found myself going to like a annoyed, like getting some responses that were like, fuck you, you don't know shit. And, that's cool. And I get it. I had to, sometimes we fall trying to create these boundaries, like energetic boundaries, emotional boundaries. While it's expanding so much, it's really important for us to, take these frequent steps back and disconnect from all this worldly shit so that we can stay centered. Because I'll tell you what, for a couple of days, I was feeling like super uncentered. I couldn't sleep. I was, I have so much information, energy running through me that it's like, like too much sometimes. So disconnecting from that chaotic, like I got to pick a side energy is super critical. I think right now, a lot of us, it's really easy to get caught up in one side or the other. So I just want to remind everybody, slow down and, take an inventory of where you're at or where your mind is always constantly going to. Is it, for a couple of days for me, I was like starting to get in that, well, I need to go dig deeper on this to figure out more. But how is that affecting my life and my experience right now? Is it contributing to the growth of my business, of my, love for myself, of my work on myself, right? Yeah, irritation is heightened right now, 100%. And anger, chaos. It's a very chaotic kind of energy. But what I'm also noticing too is this chaotic energy is facilitating a state of release, of purge. Last night I meditated for a couple hours last night, and I could literally, it felt like the world was vomiting through me energetically, if that makes sense. Like there's so much energy just moving through. It's so fast and it's so intense and it's expansive, but it's expansive through resistance, which is sort of like a paradoxical feeling. Like we're expanding, but there's like these little pockets of resistance. It's almost like they're rewiring like the energetic DNA of our metaphysical being. And even normally I can put this stuff in a context, like when I speak really well, but I've even been having a difficult time wrapping my brain around it or wrapping my senses around it because they're expanding so fast. So when, if you're feeling this, hey, what's up, Kaylee? With all this massive amount of transitioning energy going on, it's going to keep going, but it's going to keep going in these unexpected directions. So my point in all this is it's really, really important to take a step back every now and then and take those deep breaths, disconnect from social media, as I say it on social media, disconnect from any drama with anyone you have, disconnect from the world, really. If you can get out into nature, I know right now it's difficult, okay, but if you're able to do it or get like on a PEMF mat or something, just get that good, Schumann resonance vibration in you without all the Wi-Fi and, crap like that. So, so when I was doing this meditation, it literally felt like this energy was being sucked out of me. It was like I almost felt like I was levitating. It was so intense. But as it was coming out of me, it was all this collective junk that's on both sides of the court. It's almost, part of this thing that kind of like bothers me a little bit is that everything ends up turning political. Now, I'm glad that some of the decisions being made are, they're definitely stepping away from that, which is from what it seems anyways. And, right now, of course, too, we have Neptune now at 19 degrees. And that is, illusion and delusion at another level. We haven't seen Neptune at 19 degrees since the Salem witch trials, right? So as are these intuitive impulses and feelings are getting heightened and hypersensitized. It's like we're getting jacked up on this, metaphysical juice. And it's amplifying everything up. So all of us light workers, we're all getting an upgrade, but this upgrade is so intense, it feels very like chaotic at first. What degree is my Aquarius moon? It's at 21 degrees. Mars on your moon today. Well, yeah, that would definitely do it. My Mars is getting pretty close to mine, so that'll be interesting. It's in my 10th house too, so it's like my purpose. My purpose is like Mars, like let's go, and it's great, and things are working out awesome, but really, like my imbalance when I do get in balance is I tend to just go too hard, too fast, too long, and then I collapse. So for me, learning how to take a step back, Take that deep breath. And then, you know what? Not engaging, not even sharing energy with anything that feels caustic, with anything that feels like conflict, caustic and conflict. You know what I'm saying? Because really there's so much conflict going on everywhere anyways. To add more to it right now, that's why a lot of relationships are dispersing, because the dynamics of everything have shifted so much, right? And as they're shifting to this degree, people are really have no choice but to be honest with themselves. We're all sitting in our shit right now. So people have a lot of this time to connect, and now there's people that are breaking up left and right. But this is what needs to happen, guys. It's a good thing, and it's an important thing, because this is essentially forcing us to take a look at, you know, the deeper and deeper layers of stuff that none of the rest of us want to see. And we have to let go. And especially this week coming up, we're going to be experiencing more of this quicker, and we are manifesting like almost immediately. Like I'm noticing things that like I'm thinking about are manifesting like almost immediately. But the good thing is that as I'm manifesting it, I'm noticing that I'm manifesting it. Like normally everything's hindsight, right? Like you make a mistake, you fuck up, you do something, then you look back at like, oh, okay, I did that. I need to learn that lesson. Now it's like happening almost at the same time. Like I noticed when I was engaging in this post on Facebook, when I responded, like, you know what, I changed, like by the third one, I changed my tone. And I was like, you know what? Everybody's entitled to their shit. Cool. I hope you guys have a great day. Because look, there's enough conflict going around for lifetimes. We don't need any more fucking conflict. We need more love, right? Shed all the negative people in my life. And, you know, like we're able to shed the negativity from our life when we shed it from ourselves. So there was clearly something within me that was still desiring that, like that ego, I need to be right kind of thing. And, you know, like I've done some very deep dives. And if I believe in something, like I've assessed it up, back, left, right, down, forward, and everywhere, because that's what I've had to do to be able to, you know, bring myself to where I want to be in life. And I don't take no for an answer for myself. So if I'm going to have that myself, I'm going to go that deep. And that's why my belief systems are so stubborn. But there's always room to grow. There's always things to do. And that's why I'm all about keeping myself out of a comfort zone. I mean, I really don't even know what the hell a comfort zone is anymore. So yeah. Is there a certain synchronicity if you have multiple planets and houses, like Capricorn in 3 minutes? Is there a certain synchronicity? I will say that the energy will be stronger in different archetypes. Like, say, for example, with Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter all in Capricorn. Those 3 distinct energies, and when they interact, they're like, that means that your soul needs to learn some shit in that sign, right? And that's incredibly transformative, not only for you but for humanity. As you can see, you know, we had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, and that's the basis for all this, you know, pandemic stuff going on. And then Jupiter and Pluto come along, and they're like, you know, okay, now we need to look at our shit, what emotionally, energetically, what's causing, and we need to release and purify so we can have a new formulation of like a stronger, higher vibration structure. Because the Schuman's resonance is rising consistently and rapidly, I might add, now. And as that raises, the dense energy, it just can't live here anymore. It just won't be here. All right. My natal is dominantly Capricorn and all my 10th, 11th houses. Well, you know what? Me too. It's a good thing. Don't think of it this. Look, there's a threshold, right? There's 2 sides to the coin. On the dark side of the coin, you have the shadow energies of these placements, of these planets, of these signs. And once you really make the decision to put in the work, okay, and face and discover these archetypes of yourself, they turn into your superpower. And I have my moon in my 10th house in Aquarius. For the longest time, I didn't understand it because emotionally, I was so sensitive to emotions. It would like, if emotions got too strong, it would dissociate. Or I'd immediately go to, it was too much. It was over heightened. But when I did the work and I went through because look, empaths, light workers, we feel things way, way deeper than most people do. And that is, until you learn how to work with it, it feels like a fucking curse. You know, fuck, the heartbreak that I felt, the just ethically and morally, just things that you see that are fucked up. You can feel the energy of it, and it changes you. It's like scar tissue on your soul. But we are the ones, we agreed to take on that brunt of that scar tissue because we're built for it. We are built for it. And when you believe, that comes down to your belief systems. When you believe that God hates you and you're just stuck in a fucking nightmare or stuck in hell, you're there because you believe it and because you believe you deserve it. Now, granted, a lot of us grew up in really terrible circumstances, but that happened for a reason. Okay? And I know a lot of you guys out there, myself included, had really, really difficult childhoods. We're put here for a reason. And right now, that reason is what's pushing us into this next level. There's a lot of light workers and stuff. Even if it doesn't feel great, we're moving to better places, and you're starting to see it. And you know this deep down, right? Hey, what's up, Maru? Got my mentor on here. I love you, Maru. Go check out Sun Soul TV. She is my mentor, and she is a badass and a wizard. Thank you for jumping on here, babe. Oh, yeah. Scar tissue on your soul. Yeah. So, with Chiron and Black Moon Lilith being intuitive empath, I find it hard to interpret the reading with all this. Well, look, I really resonate with Chiron and Black Moon Lilith because I specifically went into those energies for a good 2 years. I especially Chiron, because Chiron's conjunct my ascendant. So that's basically been a part of my personality. I've always been the wounded child, right? I was a victim for a very long time too. And and that's why I was unsuccessful in my life. I always had this deep feeling of a calling that I knew I was meant to do something in my life, but everything I tried, I failed at. It took me 40 years to get here. And it's only when I finally faced this in here and said, fuck it, I don't care. Or, fuck it, I'm not going to be a little bitch. I'm not going to let my fear hold me down, because my ego was running the show. So we all have our own time. Some people, there's kids these days that are 6, 7 years old that are channeling and know how to do all this stuff. And there's a 14-year-old kid from India that got 2 million followers on YouTube. He was the one, the Vedic astrologer that predicted all this shit happening. It was crazy. Hell yeah. Wonder twin powers activate. I love it. When are we firing up the UFO guys? Yeah, right. I hear you. So yeah, but look, try not to look at it like your soul came in and it chose to address these symptoms, right? So abandoning inner child, I'm still trying to find my path. Look, you know what your path is. The key is when you get to a point where you're able to still your mind and stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to be at that next level, at this place you think, because that place that you're trying to get doesn't exist. It's a feeling that you're searching for, and the feeling is within. So you have to do the work to go within. The only way you do that is through stilling your mind. So you have to find creative ways to get in touch with yourself, breathing techniques, yoga, meditation, whatever gets you into a flow state. Okay, that's what plant medicine helps a lot of people do. Get into that centered flow state and accept yourself. The wounded child, the Chiron energy, is an energy that we feel like we have to fix, but we don't. The point is to accept, because it's this little Quasimodo inside all of us that just wants a fucking hug, but they feel like they're not good enough to get a hug. Well, you know what? And we have conditioned our central nervous system into compartmentalizing and to avoiding feeling that feeling because it was just too painful when we were children. Then we grow up, that feeling will tug at us harder and harder and harder, right? So we're all essentially trying to find our path in some way, to some depth. It's like you get a point where you cross a threshold, right? And you realize really more that, okay, just me being me is my path in a way. But until you face this fear within you, that fear is what's stopping you. It's prohibiting you from just expressing yourself naturally. Go back and look back at my videos from 6, 7 years ago. Completely different person. And, you know, I attracted a lot of weird, like bodybuilding muscle fetish people. It's creepy. All right. I don't want people like that. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it. You guys can do your thing, but like spiritual, baby. Like I'm all about raising vibration and helping and empowering people. And I'm not into that fetish shit. Okay, guys. So guys, girls, I mean, you know, you get what I'm saying. Is Illuminati tormenting any of y'all? Well, I think Illuminati has been tormenting, you know, humanity for hundreds of years. Yeah. And that's being exposed right now, right? Bicep pic, please. Okay. So, like the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington. Ooh, yeah. So that movie Fallen, time, and the spirit is traveling from person to person. That's kind of like that's you can use that in so many metaphors, but you guys get it, right? Okay, so the big deal astrologically with this week is that we're gonna have the sun. It's squaring Pluto. Well, it's square Pluto as of yesterday. Okay, so we're gonna have the sun square to Pluto, square to Jupiter, square to Saturn, and then later on down the road, square to Mars. But this is like the first quarter square of the sun to all these to these giants that are in Capricorn. And so all these things that have been happening for the past 3 months, you know, starting with the Saturn Pluto conjunction, is we're gonna get like a new tensiony aspect or perspective to it. That means more shit's coming out. That means that we're gonna be purging more stuff. So that thing that I was talking about at the beginning, or how I saw, like, I engaged in this because there was some part of me that felt like I needed to be right, I guess. And it felt off, but I didn't feel it right away. Right? Morgan Freeman is narrating this shit. You know, so we went through that. And now we're going through this, like, okay, well, what are you really learning? What's the next step? We need to go into a depth, but this is attention energy, guys. So this is going to test us at a whole, you know, another level. You have Lisa, you have Chiron and Saturn conjunct your ascendant, and Neptune just went over it. Woo, that's some psychic shit, girl, or some very addictive stuff. So be careful. All right, but that's good. That's your identity. Goodbye, identity, or goodbye, ego, death. How much more purging can I do? Well, look, if you're alive, you're able to purge. And I think that's part of the point in embracing this entire experience, is that energy flows. You know, it does not die. It cannot be created or destroyed. It just goes somewhere. So we are conduits, if you will, of energy. We're electromagnetic beings. So it's a constant state of purge. There's always going to be purging going on. That's like when you're doing energy work, it's like you're taking it's like you're filtering the energy, basically, right? But it has to go somewhere. So you're going to take some on, and just the more work you do with this energy, the more you feel it, the deeper you go. It's an infinite level of levels. It never stops. And that's not a bad thing. Once you it's all about your perspective about how you approach it. When you feel that it, you know, you can do a good thing, or that, you know, like when you're in a state of, you know, higher vibration, then even the difficult stuff, you see the good from it. It's literally just a perspective shift. And that's what we're going on right now. Right? Yeah. Old relationships, habits. Absolutely. We're being shown our shadow here, guys, from multiple different perspectives. And this is energy. It's like I've been saying for a while, okay? We are going back to a tribal type society, just like, because you know, Uranus and Taurus is like a humanitarian tribe, right? It's very hard to trust anybody right now, right? Uranus and Taurus is all about learning how to trust the hearts that we can trust, who we want to surround ourselves with. For example, like my opportunity community, all right? We got people from all around the world, but we have one thing in common. We all want to be better and grow and be abundant, right? My close, you know, friends here, we all work together, you know, to help bring each other's vibration up. All, you know, like I have friends that are lawyers, doctors, you know, business owners, you know, students, all the above, and we all help each other out. You know, especially now with the, you know, the monetary system is going to be completely freaking different. And barter, I've been saying this for a year, bartering is going to come back big time. And now you can see Why? Our entire infrastructure of humanity is changing, and it's going to have there's going to have to be massive changes because the economy won't support how it used to be anymore. It's just everybody there's too much change, but this change is a very good thing in my opinion, right? So, we're all getting to this point where we all want to be with our soul tribe. We all want to be with people with the belief systems that we have. And that's the dodgeball game that we're preparing for, because we're picking teams right now, right? But as of December of this year, that's when it's like, all right, dodgeball. So we're in a quasi spiritual, psycho-spiritual war right now. But the real complete concreted shift doesn't really start till next year. And, I hate to say it, but it's going to be like, a spiritual war that's going to last for a while. Okay. Because you have your people in the third dimension that they believe their shit, they're, control, they're whatever you want to call them. That's fear. And the fifth dimension is love. So us, the ones, we are the few, but we are growing and we are influencing. And the more that we get together and the more that we connect and the more we help each other be vulnerable and grow and stay in our power, the more influence we're going to have over the collective consciousness in the entire world. So we are the ones that are paving the way for how we're going to live our lives in the next generations to come. Woo! Yes. Today we found that Trump has stopped funding the WHO pending a deep... Yeah, I've been seeing that. So that's so we're seeing how Trump is making some very different decisions, and I don't want to get too political on here. I have my beliefs, but whatever your political state is, you have to see that we're going in a better direction, and people collectively are making decisions that are in the best interest of everybody, and we're seeing that this whole control dynamic is not going to work. So. And I believe that that meditation that we did on the 4th was incredibly beneficial. The Schumann resonance spike in that was astronomical. So the light is winning, and the light is going to win because that's what the light does. All right. So all this stuff's going to keep coming up. It's going to keep purging, and in some way, shape, or form, this purging is designed to twist you into who you're meant to be. I don't want to say twist, to contort, to mold you. To mold you into who you're meant to be. Okay. And when you start to see it that way, it actually becomes pretty all right, bring it on. What's next? Every obstacle turns into an opportunity, or a challenge is a learned lesson. And, just going forward one day at a time. And, the more vulnerable that we allow ourselves to be, the more power we're going to embody. Right. In your ascension or growth spiritual to now, how did you manage you energy hitting other spiritual spaces? How did I manage my energy in other spiritual places? Well, I've done a lot of work with a lot of very wise teachers. And if I want to learn something or I want to do something, I go 100% all in. And I've gone very, very, very deep to some very intense places. I have met death many times, metaphysically speaking. I've had to overcome all kinds of stuff, and each thing taught me something new. So it's just been a whole lifetime of really, at the very core, it's been me learning my own emotions and how to establish solid emotional boundaries. And, I had to open my heart up and, let my guard down and be vulnerable. I mean, on many, many, many levels. So I've been doing this work for a long time. And, we all go through our dark night of the soul, and the dark night of the soul teaches us who we really are. And it makes us realize that, we are definitely multidimensional beings for damn sure. All right. Do I lucid dream or astral project? I've astral projected a few times. I've done quite a few shamanic guided, drumming, trance-like meditations. That I've done some lucid dreaming and some astral projection, but I have to have an actual guide sitting there with me, or a drum or some catalyst for me to do that. I can't just if I listen to binaural beats while I'm going to sleep, I can't. For some reason, it's not where I'm at. I don't have any plants in my 12th house, unfortunately. But I feel everything crazy deep. I feel. I'm just intuitive empath. So I learn to read what I'm feeling in my body. and I've learned to translate it into a language that I can, or like even visuals that like okay, so this one visual that I had earlier, I saw like right now, like the world, or let's say like Bill Gates and the CDC and the WHO and all those fucking guys, they're like a dog that just took a shit on a floor. And they're saying that the entire floor is contaminated, right? And all we've been doing is pointing at it. Ooh, like a 5-year-old kid. Ooh, that's dirty, that's gross, that's shit. And now we're realizing like all the surrounding things. But instead of sitting there pointing at it, why don't we just go fucking pick it up and, and clean it up? And for some reason I got that visual with the two sides of the whole story of the world situation, and I just decided to go pick up the shit and throw it away. We don't need to sit there and point at it and call it names and talk shit about it and say how fucking gross it stinks in here. No, just pick it up and toss it where it needs to be, and that's what needs to happen, right? So there we go. There's my solution. I think my awareness of my powers of empathy can sometimes make others uncomfortable, which makes you hot. That is your own fear, okay? Because it doesn't matter what, if your mind is in the position of feeling what other people feel, that is your Chiron energy right there. So when you feel self-conscious, when you feel hypersensitive and that other people are picking up on your stuff, I used to be like that talking to a camera or public speaking, like, you stand there and you can feel everybody else's energy. And you're like, I used to get pains in my neck. My mouth would go completely cotton mouth. And like my heart would start beating. I'd feel weak and woozy. That is that Chiron energy. All that is fear. When you're in your heart and but you believe that you deserve, you believe that you have a message that needs to be heard. If you feel like you belong here and that you are meant to be here, that shit doesn't matter anymore. So that is your own fear that you have to face. And it's that kind of polarity shift, that kind of understanding when you step up into it and you feel it, you go forward anyways, and you learn, oh, hey, I can actually do this. This is how I stand in my power. Just by doing it and by facing the physiological and emotional symptoms that come up, and then go into your whatever topic that you're discussing. So you do more research on Chiron than I've been feeling this since December or November. So that's your next level, your next step, facing your fear. And you can also watch my, I did my victim, wounded child, prostitute and saboteur videos that go into the survival archetypes that Caroline Miss created. And I think that you are definitely going to benefit from those. Nice. Okay, so let's move. Thank you very much. I have a lot of creative energy flowing lately. I'm loving it. So let's go to the chart now. So today we have the moon going over all this stuff in Capricorn. So yeah, we're deep and we're coming in. This moon is coming around to the new moon, which is going to be next week, which is going to start this new level of emotional cycle. And I'm going to make a separate video for that new moon, but it's very, very exciting and growth oriented and going to be very unpredictable. I think in a good way though. Okay. But we have, let's see. Yes, today, Chiron and Mercury are conjunct, and I spoke about that in my daily energy report. So this is just more of the same. And this square is a big energy. This is like shining a light again down this. It's like just we're down to the next floor, the next level, right? So we thought that like we're going deep and change is happening. It's like, oh, no, we still got a long way to go, right? So that's just going the long way that it's going. And we're looking at this through a lens like destiny. Where the fuck are we going? And what are we going to do when we get there? I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea how to do this. And then, like this Saturn's like, look, you just got to fucking do it. Figure it out. Make it happen. That's it. Bottom line. No excuses. No, no poor me. No more victim. Like if something in your life is holding on to a low vibration, it is going to kick your ass right now. So look at that and then look at how you're responding to it too. Do you get around everybody like after something happens and sit there and just talk about it for like 2 hours just to get some validation that the choice that you made is correct for you? Don't do that shit. Okay? Because that's just That's like gossip kind of energy. That's needing that external validation. You don't need external validation right now for what it is that you want to create. You just need to do you. And make sure that it's like there's this spider web we're just energetically clearing out, opening it up. Okay, so clear that shit out. Wallowing is another good word to use. And then and with this Saturn quincunx over to the North Node, man, this is coming up actually next week. It's going to go to 0 degrees. So this whole nodal axis, we're coming to the final seconds, if you will, out of the last 18 months of this lesson of structuring our emotional boundaries, bringing it to a higher vibration, and being honest with ourselves about what we want. So what do you really want? Because once the North Node goes into Gemini, it's no longer about what you're feeling and what you want. What's up, Leslie? How you doing, babe? It's no longer about what you want. It's about, okay, now how do I structure it? Now how do I analyze all this new state of boundary that I've created, right? We've restructured the our emotional scaffolding, if you will. And now, so we have our belief systems that we've created. Now we have our thoughts, ideas. This is the picking teams, right? So this is what we're going to believe in. This is what we want to, what we want our life to look like. And we're going to be going forward in that when it goes to Gemini. And then, of course, Venus is going to be crossing over the North Node pretty soon as well. So this is very, very big with, with love and with money. And look at the world right now. We're going to have to get creative. That entrepreneurial mind is going to have to come out to really find new and creative ways to make money, or barter, or find different ways to make it work. Right? Got to get out of the box. All right. And then as we do that, we're bringing in new people. We're choosing who we're going to allow in our space. And once we choose that, it's like we're not stuck per se in that place, but that is what we've built. That's what we've solidified. So it's going to be much more difficult after that time to really make any fundamental changes or shifts like that, because now we've made the changes in that area, that one little perspective spot. Now we're going to go down the rabbit hole with the analytical aspect. Gemini is, contrast, it's, debate, it's analysis, it's communication. Okay. So how intense is a nodal return in these times? I'm assuming nodal return, and nodal return is just going to make that feeling that this is destiny like 10 times stronger. And it's going to make you really listen up, really pay attention. Like, hey, similar to like a Saturn return. If you're having a Saturn return right now, oh my God, that's or really actually any midlife shift, like a Saturn. I have my Pluto square Pluto, or even a Uranus opposition. Those things are going to like heighten and intensify the layers. So a lot of people basically right now are going through a Saturn return, just universally. Okay, so if you've been through your Saturn return, good job, you made it. You understand what everybody else is feeling. It's this, but now that everybody else is feeling it at the same time, there's all this darkness that we all are collectively, it's being shared through the collective unconscious to purge. That's why we all feel it. We all feel so connected, because everyone in the world is focusing on the same fundamental shit. And that one big bubble is starting to turn into two sides. And that two sides is going to be where humanity is at, left and right. That's it. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So that's, and especially because Venus is going through Gemini too. That's going to be double an experience for you. But anyways, let us move forward. Okay. So now we have on the 17th, we have Black Moon Lilith going back into Aries, hanging out between like the end of Pisces, the beginning of Aries, right near Chiron. So, this Black Moon Lilith and Chiron energy sitting here, and it's going to be like floating around here for like the next month or so. That's that everyone, all these hot chicks have this like this OnlyFans page now. it's this deeply sexual, deeply wanting to just snuggle and like be close with someone and just be all sexy time. And I mean, and then add in the Venus retrograde coming up, that is going to triple it, because Venus retrograde, you just want to feel love. You just want to, you have these rose tinted glass. I just want to, Netflix and chill. We get along so great. Then Venus goes direct, and they're like, who the fuck is this dude or chick? What, where, how did I get here? Right? The thirst trap page. I like that. Yeah. How long is the energy? The energy of a Saturn return lasts your entire life. You'll never forget that. But the energy that you're in it for is about 2.5 years. Okay, you'll usually feel it, like experience it about 6 months before, 6 months after, because there's going to be little periods of time where that it's going in and out. But yeah, Saturn return, you know, forget, I was in Iraq when I had my Saturn return. I went through EOD school, so that was incredibly life-changing for me. And most people that I know, my boy Peace Deal is going through finishing his up. So I almost feel like I want to have a graduation party for him. Peace Dealer, hit me up, man. We need to connect. I need to throw a post Saturn return party for you, bro. So on the 19th, we have the sun going into Taurus. So happy birthday, all your Taurians. It's going to be an intense Taurus phase. We're going to see a lot of really unexpected stuff happening around this time. It could be, depending on where we're at, you know, it's going to be intense for sure. It could be good or it could be not so good. We'll see how that goes, because this is still kind of squaring over to Pluto. I'm sorry. Uranus is going to be squaring over to Saturn here. And that's sort of like, that's really going to hit next year, but we're getting a little taste of it right now. And that's when shit's going to get really real. All right. But we'll focus on this for now. So the sun coming into Taurus, I'm actually, you know, pretty excited about it. And then Venus is in shadow, getting ready to go retrograde here in a couple of weeks. We also have this coming in the next month. We're going to be having, for Pluto, then Saturn, then Jupiter going retrograde. So, you know, the thing is right now is preparing us, believe it or not, okay, for a lot more. Like we're not going to really have any more super significant meeting new people or doing new things. Like all this new energy is now starting to come to a halt. And this next 6 months is going to be a revisiting, a review, a recalibration of all the shit that's come in. And there's plenty of shit. I mean, you know, it's a lot of it's been a year so far for sure. And it's going to come in. It's going to refine itself. It's going to bring up new stuff. It's like a windshield washer to our energy, back and forth, just cleaning this shit up. And especially big time is going to be relationships, guys, like our relationship with ourselves, but especially like intimate relationships. I'm going to make another video on Venus retrograde, because I think that's going to be really important to talk about. And I'll let you guys know when I do that. Any thoughts on EMF stickers and Organite for 5G? Well, Organite, you know, those stickers, like some of it works okay. Some of it doesn't. Organite, I definitely say works pretty well, but you need a pretty big chunk of it. But with 5G, you're going to need a much stronger protection than that, because that stuff's like shooting an elephant with a BB gun. I have something called a True Shield. I made a post of it a while ago on my social media. You can get it on Amazon. They go anywhere from $300 to $500, but it's an actual Tesla coil that filters out the harmful EMF and keeps the rest of the EMF okay. I have one in my house. It's that is the strongest and most efficient thing that I found. I actually originally saw it at a biohacking like chiropractor office in California a couple of years ago. So Smart Shield, just Google Smart Shield EMF. I'm sorry, Total Shield EMF, and you can check that out, or something that's like that. I think that they're coming out with other things now in the near future to protect against EMF, because it's obviously an incredibly dangerous thing that a lot of people are starting to realize and notice. Well, let's wait and see how this whole 5G thing pans out. Because if you think about it, if it's that bad, I believe it is that bad. Okay, but I also believe that like they're not going to be able to like put it up with millions of people just dropping like flies all over the world with all this proof that it's bad. Something's going to be done. So I believe something has to be done. Right. Thank you, Alina. I definitely appreciate that. Much love. Much love. Yeah, I'm feeling the love of humanity right now for sure. And if you're just joining, please go to my website, spirituality.com, and join my opportunity community. It might be filled up now. So if you get on there now before I actually, finish this thing and I actually go to check it out, then you'll be able to sneak in there for free. So dead people can't use the technology, right? Well, yeah, exactly. So there's going to be something out there. I'm confident that there's something out there that's going to happen. I'm going to have faith. I'm not going to try not to speculate too much because, of course, there's a lot we don't know, and there's a lot of things that are going behind the scenes. Clearly, there's been stuff going on in the works now for years, and this is sort of like getting ready for a bodybuilding competition. Now everybody's just staying on stage, right? But the last 10 years, they've been preparing for this and doing all the backyard stuff, and so. Let's the good guys have something going on too. All right. They're beating the bad guys right now. So, and whatever, good guy, bad guy, I'm just using, ineffective, effective, whatever you want to call it. It's a mute point. So again, I mean, so this energy ain't going away. Thank God. So I kind of feel like the Chiron Lilith energy is going to segue into the Venus retrograde, because the Chiron Lilith energy can bring in, like, if you're feeling wounded in regards to a relationship, like if you just broke up or something, like this can test you. This can make you want to give into your bad habits. And then the Venus retrograde is going to come back in saying, did you learn your lesson? What's going on? And, that's going to be, May, June, and then a little bit into July. So you need to do the right thing with your creative and sexual energy right now. And they're both at 6 degrees, so 6 is structure, stability. Like this is being able, what's up, Cha-Cha? This is all about restructuring, restabilizing. Are you going to choose a healthy place to structure and stabilize your energy? Or are you going to go off and do something stupid like your old self would have? And then Venus is going to go retrograde and smack you in the face a little bit and be like, okay, what the hell just happened? Right? You really want to be careful of this energy, because this can land you in your twin flame soulmate, best relationship of your life, or it can make you have to repeat this whole fucking learning pattern all over again, because when Venus goes retrograde, you're probably going to fall deeply in love with, someone and think that they're everything. And then one day they're going to change. You're not going to know why. And you're going to feel like you're in the fucking twilight zone even more than you are right now. Okay. What's up, Jessica? How you doing, hon? So respect the sexual energy, always respect it, but especially right now. Check yourself and don't give in to those bad fucking habits. All right. It's going to be strong. I've been feeling, I have a good flow going, but I've even, been craving, feeling, I'm feeling vulnerable, lonely. Come hold me. No sex. Are you telling me or asking me or suggesting me? I don't really. No, but everybody wants to be sort of cuddled and held and feel, connection right now. And if we don't have it, it can feel lonely, it can feel kind of shitty, whatever. But you're here in this place for a reason, and whatever it is that you're feeling pulled to, be kind to yourself, okay? But don't be making any. If you're gonna make a decision, probably shouldn't. But I really, it's like the pizza's sitting there. Do you want, you have a 6-pack, that dairy and gluten is gonna fuck your stomach up for 2 weeks. Do you want to be gassy and bloated, or do you want to keep going and have a 6-pack? It's a decision. We have free will, right? Right. So, well, yeah, nobody's allowed to hug because of the social distance thing. Look, I'm gonna give you guys a comic hug. Come here. Just let's hug. I look, dude. People are no fap. Well, I don't know about that. That can get a little miserable. I mean, you have to be able to focus. Okay, you gotta do something. But I digress. So thank you. I appreciate that, Mel. Can I explain lust versus love? I feel like they both begin at the heart. Well, so this is my opinion. Okay, I'm not saying I know, because clearly, I don't have the perfect relationship. So I could be wrong somewhere. But love is just that feeling that you'll do anything just because you care, right? I remember when I was going through a massively difficult decision, fapping, constant self-love. I'd say that's more self-lust, but hey, that's okay. you know, so I was having this really hard time getting over this ex, and she got with somebody else, and it was devastating to me. Like it was we had the best sex, we got along, I thought great, but we just couldn't communicate, and you know, it shattered my heart so deeply that I had to let go of the pain. I didn't know how to hang on to it, and when I learned to fully, you know, unconditionally love her, because she's a beautiful human being. We shared this experience to learn from each other. It's really difficult to look at things like that. Same thing, like, you know, my father, you know, like people that have hurt you, but they came in your life to teach you, and that pain is meant to teach you. And when you're able to switch the mindset into taking that pain and rising above it and seeing the bigger picture and appreciating what it has taught you, that's when acceptance, that is the difference between love and attachment. And I think lust may have a little bit of an attachment connotation to it. Now, you can be a love, and then, you know, love and lust together. I think that's an amazing combination. But the lust is just like the fiery physical, like, I just want to fuck your brains out, or I just want to make you feel good. And, you know, like, I think that's just the lust part of it. And lust can go with either attachment or love. Lust with attachment is a fucking disaster. It's a train wreck. That's jealousy, envy, and all negative shit. Lust with love, well, that's perfect. that's yes, please. Right? So so we need to, you know, love ourselves and lust ourselves first, you know, of course, if we want someone else to be able to love or lust us. And if they lovely lust us, then beautiful. Let's do it. Balance, exactly. And, you know, I will not accept anything less than I don't think that I'm able to do that. I can't fully accept anything that I don't feel completely about like that. So I guess that's probably why I'm alone. And I'm okay with where I'm at. Like, I learned to accept and not attach myself to anything, because that's where I have to be. And you know, I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. So yeah, that's my little rant for that. So lust and love. So oh yeah, well, okay, we're at the end of the week. Beautiful. So on the 21st, we have the nodes going to 0 degrees. So we are literally in the very last, like, pubic hairs of the place where thank you very much, Alina. I appreciate that. We are at the very last pubic hair of ability to shift and contort and move around our emotionally, our emotional structure, our energetic emotional scaffolding. Which I don't think it's no coincidence that this Chiron and Lilith energy are sitting conjunct while that North Node is at that last point, saying, okay, this is the biggest part of the test. This is the biggest thing that you have to learn through this nodal interaction. Are you going to step into your own self-love and self-lust? Or are you going to step back into attachment and repeat the same fucking cycle over again? What are you going to do? And we have the knowledge, we have the awareness, we have the wisdom. It's just, do we have the willpower, or do we have more desire to be at our center and to be authentic with ourselves? Or do we have more willpower to want to just go do something stupid that we know is stupid, but we're going to do it anyways? I mean, it's very black and white. Black and right. Black and white, right? Boom. So I think that no more cycles of shit. No. Get rid of the bullshit and embrace your highest vibration. And this next week will be a major test of that. So be prepared to be tested, be prepared to grow, be prepared to be aware, and just watch yourself. Look at your own shit and see what it's guiding you to. You need to learn, you need to fully encompass this place where we are learning to be guided by our faith and intuition. Okay? Boom, Mel, I love it. Hell yeah. Attached to nothing, connected to everything. And we're letting go of these. We have the opportunity right now to let go of these attachments and to go into self-love, faith, and the next level, which is the 5th dimension, right? So I love you guys so very much. Please go to my website and join my opportunity community, spiritualbodybuilder.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please follow me on IG, and I'll be seeing you beautiful people very soon. I love you all. Boom. Okay, and YouTube, I'll see you guys later. Love you.